Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Roll Hit Die presents our Session 0 for our newest game, Gooey, Re-Incarnate. Before I hand it off to let my players introduce themselves, which, you know what, we'll just introduce ourselves as we introduce them in the game, so disregard all that. I do want to give my typical shout-outs. As you can see in the middle of the screen, that nice fancy map that is brought to you through the Roll20 app. The Roll20 lets us show our artwork, our maps, keep our players situationally aware of the combat situations, blah, blah, blah. Also, another one I like to give a shout out to is Hero Forge. I don't know if any of our players have created a token through Hero Forge as of yet, but we'll find out once we get started. Hero Forge allows you to create custom miniatures that you can have sent to your home, or if you have a 3D printer at home, you can pay for the program to print them out yourself, so you can print out an army of one figure. Or if you subscribe to them, you can actually make a digital version that you can use in your digital games. Another shout out that I'd like to give, and kind of a sponsor-ish deal, is Gooey Cube. Now, this nice fancy map you see in the middle of you that's brought through the Roll20 app is actually a map of Zyothe, which is a map brought to you through Gooey Cube. Gooey Cube is I want to say 5th edition type world that's created by the company several years ago and expanded upon by the community. So you may run into a few of those expanded upon things in this campaign. We'll see. Depends on how long our players last or survive their encounters. Also, before we jump into the game, we have two actual sponsors. First and foremost, we have W Energy. That's a good manufacturing practice certified product formulated to give you focus without jitters or crash. And Lord knows, whenever you want to stay focused, you don't want the jitters or the crash to go along with it. It has no calories, no sugar, and no fillers. You use the code ROLLHITDIE at checkout, and you can get 10% off your purchase. I'm a little dark here, so let's turn on a little bit of light, see if that helps. There we go.
Must be from the DC universe.
Yeah, I am. Next one we have is Humble Bundle. It's a website that sells games, ebooks, software, and other digital products. Their mission is to support charity while providing you with awesome content. If you use the same code, ROLLHITDIE, when you check out, it lets them know where you heard about them from. If you're watching us on Twitch, which, the only other way you'd be able to watch us tonight would be on Twitch. Later on, it will be on YouTube. Give it a few days. But on Twitch, we have down below our little sign here is a little bio. Kind of gives you a little bit about us. But in that bio are two links. One is for Extra Life and one is for a website. Extra Life, if you click on that, it'll take you to their website. It allows you to give to the Children's Miracle Network as well as the children's hospitals at any point in time throughout the year when you can and when you'd like to. The other link is to our website that Marcus has been working on. The main part of the website that brings so much joy to Marcus is how many different kind of products he can create in there for him to sell as swag for our shows. One prime example is the symbol at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Also the symbol right behind Marcus's head. And some other things. If you go in there and check it out, you can get you a shirt, a mug, a rug. If you just want to wipe your feet on our symbol, which I wouldn't blame you. But anyway, you can go to the website and click on that and purchase something. Excuse me. Let's see. Last but not least, if you'll notice at the bottom hand, right there, bottom down there by the chat bar, you'll notice a bubble. This crew has definitely made it 100% factual that any game they play in ends up being chaotic in one shape, fashion, or form.
Isn't that the truth?
So, to add to that chaos, we have the chaos bubbles. Those chaos bubbles allows you to create, to earn points the longer you watch us, or even, in chat, discuss a few things. I don't know the particulars for the algorithm, because sometimes when I think I do, they seem to change. But the longer you watch our program, I do know you'll gain points. Those points can be spent to cause chaos in any of our D&D style games. That is including this one, as well as tomorrow night's game of Legacy of the Kingdom Stone. We also have one you can spend on to organized play, but it's only the +2 points, so we haven't really gone too in-depth in that. Alright, so, now that I've gotten all the particulars and the, blah 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 out of the way to begin this, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Gooey, Re-Incarnate. Now, before we really jump in for my players, this is a little information for you guys. I will share this to you because this is kind of a house rule situation. So, if you'll notice, I just shared a screen with you. This is a rough estimate of how points will be done. In my game, you will not only level up, you'll also gain points. And those points can be...
Are we supposed to see a black thing?
I have a blank screen.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think you put that in GM notes.
I did. Oops. Let the chaos begin. Anyway, so first and foremost, I'll go ahead and just read it to you, and then I'll transfer it over later for you. You're going to gain points as you level. You'll gain points based off of role play. So think of it as whose line is it anyway? You know, you'll gain points, and the points don't matter at the end of the night. But in my case, they will a little bit. You'll gain points for professions. If you perform tasks in your professions, you'll gain points for that as well. First and foremost, I got it set up that every level you gain, you'll gain 5 points. Automatically, 5 points for gaining a level. If you got a skill that you're using, you'll gain a point off each time you use it. Role play, depending upon how well it turns out, that'll decide what kind of points you gain. Anyway, to begin with, once you reach 20 points, well, let me see where I'm at. Yep, once you reach 20 points, you can level up a stat, if that's what you wish to spend it on. You can also spend 5 points? No, 10 points to pick up a new skill. So everybody knows when you created your class, you have skills that you learned. As you progress, you have the opportunity to learn new things. As 5th edition runs right now, we don't have that option. You have your skills and you get better in those particular skills. The point system gives you an option to say later on down the line, if you want to pick up a skill that you've not gotten at start, allows you to spend points to do so. Let's see what else we got. Some of the points are also based off of level for spending. Let's see. Okay, here we go. As you level up, also, say you're a blacksmith. You start off as an apprentice. As you level up, you can spend a certain number of points to go from apprentice to journeyman. And as you level up higher, I mean, there'll be prerequisites. You got to be a certain level to do so. So first level, you're not going to have enough points to go up to journeyman. And as you level, eventually you'll be a master craftsman in your particular skills, depending on how long we play or how long that character survives. Did I say that part out loud? And then we'll go more on the points from there later. But yes, also professions may end up giving you other benefits in-game. They are an important aspect of this one. And so don't forget about them. There may be some benefits to them. And other things that you do in-game may have benefits for your character. So let me go close that out. And let's go ahead and...
Question.
Yes.
Some professions may be a lot easier to do than others and have an opportunity to be used
like
many times more than others.
Okay, give me an example.
Alchemy and
Cooking.
Alchemy, cooking are the easy ones, and then blacksmithing is the hard one.
Or cobbler, or, something like that.
Anything that requires tools or an anvil.
Yep. Okay. I will figure that out a little bit better as we go along. But yes, okay. I'm going to try to keep it all somewhat even for everybody. For example, blacksmithing. If you do enough blacksmithing, it may end up giving you other benefits beyond just the blacksmith skill, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Since it's a much harder skill, that I would say it would be like you would get more XP per thing than like cooking. In my opinion, I would see how that would be a thing.
Could you use it
maybe
like saying like, I'm going to use blacksmith, but I'm going to do maintenance on everyone's armor?
As long as you're using the skill itself.
you're gonna sharpen the weapons as blacksmith, whereas like a leather worker would repair the leather armors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have the idea.
Like maintenance.
Yeah.
Stuff.
All right, so as the title entails, we are all in reincarnated characters. Everybody has lived a previous life and has died in some manner, whether it be a gruesome death or not. We'll find out. So first and foremost, we have. I'm assuming you're Mr. Hinton. Is that you, Josh?
Me?
No.
Bobus? Who's Bobus?
I'm Bobus.
Okay, Josh, what is your character's name?
The moniker he goes by or his real name?
His actual name.
Oh, Alexander Douglas Rockford.
Okay, well, Alexander. Alexander.
The whole thing. That's
So-
just a whole shebang.
Alexander,
it gets worse.
why
It
don't
gets a lot
you
worse.
tell us a
I
little
love it.
bit about your previous life, whatever you'd like to share. How'd you die?
Well, you see here, Alexander Douglas Rockford is just a person. The real person is the Reverend Pimp Daddy Slim. He was a skinny, tall man, lived in the ghetto of Detroit, in a place called the 7 Mile Road. You see, he lived there. He was in a luxurious place. He was a pimp. He was a drug dealer. He rolled dice for a living, you see. He done a lot for himself, but unfortunately, he was gunned down in his prime because of a bad deal he made.
And as you're laying there in the street, just watching the guy walk closer to you, and you see that red blood run past your left eye, and the light starts to fade, there's blackness. And then you're conscious, but you're in full darkness. You feel confined. You're in something. Is there something surrounding you? What do you do?
What's around? Like,
And it's
surrounding
like
what?
some
You
sort
said
of like barrier, or I mean, you really don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard. Doesn't feel like wood. Doesn't have the texture of wood. It's more smoother. There's a little bit of a moisture, a little bit of membrane to it, I guess. Being where you're at. But yeah, it's you're in something.
Can I? And it's all complete black darkness.
Yeah,
right?
it's completely dark.
Can I? It's like a membrane. Is it like squishy? Like as I push against it, is it pushing back? You know how like a I don't know what you would call like a squishy bubble like thing.
I mean, there is like a little bit of a membrane push to it, but then you feel the solid, and you're realizing, wait a minute, you're completely immersed in some sort of fluid, but you're not having a problem breathing.
But I can't see anything.
You can't see, and you can't move any further than maybe a couple inches this way and a couple inches that way.
Okay, so this is the Reverend. He's going to start to panic and start clawing and like screaming, "Oh Lord Jesus, help me!" and just start screaming and clawing, trying to get out.
All right, and yes, you do sever whatever this you cut it somehow. I don't know with your fingernails or whatever, but you do cut it, and you see a little crack of light appear at the top right-hand corner of whatever you're in.
Okay, you remember Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the second one, when it gets out of like the
rhino?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
So you keep pushing on this crack, and your pieces start chipping away, and you finally get your head out, and you take a deep breath, and you look around, and there's like a lot of these huge egg-looking things laying all around you in this cave that you're in. And some of them are actually cracked open, and there's these lizard-like creatures like poking their heads up out of it and looking around, and what do you do?
I'll like splat on the ground and what am I can what's all over me? Like what can I see? Like
You look down and you're like, your arms are like scaly and you've got claws for hands. You didn't specify the color, but I'll let you do that now.
I get that in the actual personality, all that stuff. It's like a reddish brown color, a
So-
brownish. Sorry, red brownish scales.
Okay, as long as you're not albino with a round arm, we're fine. All right, so yeah, you see that your arms are scaly in this red brownish color. You've got claws, and as you look around, you notice one of these. There's like this lizard or dragon-like being, like the ones you see coming out of the eggs, that are small but a little larger. And they look towards you, and the wide grin appears on their face, and you see all these teeth, the razor sharp teeth, this big snout, comes walking over towards you, grabs a hold of you, starts patting you on the. Yeah. Well,
and just
tries to hold you still and starts breaking parts of the egg away. You hear some language. Granted, for right now, you don't actually know the language, but it's like guttural, cracking type noises coming from it, and you realize they're talking to you, and they're trying to talk to you in kind of somewhat of a soothing voice. You think maybe?
well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who these people are. I'm fighting. I'm trying my best to get away.
Give me a
Don't touch me! I don't know you.
using a 10 for right now. Give me a be an escape artist. Athletic. No, either athletics or acrobatics. Just a straight roll. Using level 1. No, what do we say level 1? Sorry, I'm getting congested. So just give me a straight d20 roll. We'll see how well you can break away from this person who's holding you. Yeah, no. You kick, you scream, and at some point in time, I mean, you know what a boob looks like on a human?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what this thing is, but they get stuck in your mouth.
Who?
Oh Lord! Stop! No, the Reverend's an ass man. No.
And there's obviously whatever this creature is trying to breastfeed you.
Okay. How does the breast milk taste?
I have no idea how breast milk tastes from a kobold, so you'll just have to imagine that on your own.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I guess for a kobold, to you
that-
it would taste
is that-
good.
Is that Hennessy? I love this. Let's go right at it.
All right, so tell me, after you've gotten past your initial panic, you realize that there's an entire cave full of these same creatures being born at the same time as you. After a while, you learn the language. Tell me how the first few years of your life are spent.
I'm going to hustle the hell out of these people. I am going to teach them how to roll dice. I'm going to...
So what do you do? Just take like old animal bones and make like 6-sided dice out of it? And
I will make a game up and like, no, I'm sorry. That's 3-bone. You lose. I'm sorry. That's just the name of the game. And like, it's never the same rule.
you've got the leaves that you're doing back and forth with marks on the other end, and you didn't make it. So yeah, you're hustling for like food and droppings and whatever other things they get their hands on. Maybe some gold or whatever from adventurers that have made their way in the caves and been killed. So yeah, over the years you do see other humanoid type characters try to come in the cave with what look like archaic weapons that that one time you were forced to sit and watch Game of Thrones or whatever it was with your sister's cousin's nephew or whatever it was. So you recognize the kind of weaponry that's there.
Right.
And, eventually the shiny stuff they drop, you know what it is, but the rest of the kobolds really don't. You
I will take it. You
Yeah.
don't need that.
yeah,
That's
it's worthless.
no, it's not. That's no good. You don't need it. Here, take this. It's a rock. It's hard. It's good. This is too small. They're too small. I need this.
All right. So after a while, you become of age enough to where you are sent out with the hunting parties to go try to bring back food. Now, mind you, you're probably one of those that's, yeah, I'll go help, but then you shirk it off on somebody else. I say shirk it off. Maybe you just convince them to do it for you. But you're on one of these hunting parties, learning how to hunt, when you run into another one of those groups of humans driving a carriage with a cage in the back. That carriage runs down about 3 of your hunting party. We're going to leave it there because there's more involved. But yeah, you're out hunting in the woods, and this carriage comes by, and it runs over, like, kills 3 out of the 5 people that are with you.
It's
So
like
it's only
runs
you.
us
runs
over.
right over them.
I'm gonna get like drive-by flashbacks, like oh Lord, and they like dive out of the way. And
All right, so now we're going to jump
Fritz.
over to
Fritz, they killed Fritz.
you bastards, Blitz!
So now,
In 7
I
days.
guess Mr. Hinton,
Cobalt
what
owed
was
me
it,
3 coins.
Bobus Hinton?
Yes.
Mr. Bobus Hinton, why don't you let us know a little bit about who Bobus Hinton was prior to dying, and then tell us exactly how you died.
Jolly good day, sir. I am Bobus Hinton, the grandfather of Jeffrey, who is the godfather of AI technology, and I followed in his footsteps. I've been working in artificial intelligence for a good decade or so, but of course, everyone give me death threats, and I'm trying to play God, which of course not. Trying to advance the human race. But no. Late night, I was working up in my lab, and then there was a loud explosion of sorts, and I can't remember much after that.
All right, so, yeah, as soon as everything goes black, you start to fade away, and then you hear a bzz, bzz, and you start to come back to consciousness. Which, you're assuming you're opening your eyes, but you don't recall actually opening your eyes, but you're able to see. And when you do, there's a rather short fellow, like standing on a chair right in front of you. And he's got these big glasses on, he's got a very unkept beard, making familiar noises. I say familiar noises because you used to make those same noises all the time when you were working on your projects back at home, or where you were just at, or whatever's going on. But periodically you actually hear him mumble something about how much he would make with this find.
Excuse me, good sir.
Whoa! I didn't give you the... How do you... That shouldn't be available yet.
What is going
He
on
stops
here?
down, walks back over to a table and starts looking over papers and stuff, and you realize you're strapped to a board or some kind. And he's not even paying you any attention. He's over mumbling, that shouldn't be available yet. That shouldn't be on. How is he doing that? I must have missed something. Was it here? No, can't be that. I haven't even done that yet. Maybe it was this. Go ahead.
Can I, try to pull off the straps or anything along those lines?
You realize they are some sort of steel wrapped around your wrist, ankles, and as you look down to try to pull, because typically when somebody's trying to pull their arms, we say, look down and see what's holding them, right?
Yeah.
That's not your arm. That's it looks like it's made of metal straps, maybe some wood. I mean, it doesn't really. It's not a human arm. It's got humanish looks to it, but it's not human.
What in the... Oh, I definitely need to lay off the cognac before going to bed. Sir, do you mind unlocking me and perhaps wake me up from this dream?
So, He's still mumbling, and he's not really paying you much attention. It's almost like he's just toned you out. And you've dealt with this before. You know, your assistant's talking to you as you're trying to do your thing, and you're set on a mission, but everything else behind you is gone. And then after a moment, he walks over and he points a wand at you, and your eyes go. You just kind of, you don't close your eyes, but you seem to like fade out.
What is this Harry Potter?
And you don't know how long later it is,
Mm-hmm.
but you do come back to consciousness, and you seem to be strapped on a board once again. Maybe it's the same one, you don't know, but you can't see anything around you because other than maybe some light that pops through some cracks every now and then, you're in a crate. And you're being jostled around. So apparently, at some point in time, you got boxed up and are now in a truck or something. I mean, you don't hear any engine. You just hear the clop of... It's got to be horse. No, it can't be horses. Who would use horses in a carriage these days? But that's where you're at right now. Austin.
That's a strange dream.
Austin. This is your night, brother. Tell us about it.
So, my name is Austin Breaker. I have just made it to the big leagues. I have just made it to the Professional League of Wrestling. And I am going out there to make my first appearance. And I am going to fight. If you can believe it, I am going to fight the dead man himself. He has been retired for 5 years. And for some reason, he's here to fight me. So we go out there. We lock up. He throws me up against the ropes. He's making this a quick match. He pulls me up. He gets me into a pile driver. The tombstone, I think is what he called it. He pulls me down into the pile driver. And the next thing I know is nothing. Because he broke my neck.
Something went wrong. I don't know. Maybe you didn't position right, being, this is your first time out and you were so nervous dealing with him. Or maybe he's just out of practice because he's been gone for 5 years.
I heard a gong.
And just darkness. And then you come to consciousness, but you can't open your eyes. And you're kind of rolling around and you hear this mewing noise going on all around you. Does somebody left a box of kittens or something nearby? Finally, after a little while, something comes up and starts licking your face. And it's a rough tongue right across your eyes. And then allows you to start blinking. And you start blinking, you start looking around, and there's this cat head. I mean, bigger than your head. Just right in your face, and you see that tongue just come across your eyes. And as you turn around and look around the other sides of you, like, there's other... They're kitten-like, but their forepaws and their back legs don't really look like they're positioned like a cat's would. As you're rolling around trying to figure this out, you realize that you're covered in fur. And that's a cat's paw, I guess. Maybe it's kind of finger. I mean, you got digits, but the ends are like the cat's paw. You push on, a little claw comes out. What's your response to that?
I mean, if I'm still just where I am and what's going on, I'm taking one claw and I keep pushing on with the other one to get the claws to keep coming out. I start like trying to walk around and get away from everything.
All right, and the only thing you can tell is it's got to be a motherly type cat person. You get to a certain degree of getting too close to the edge of where the box or the little bed area is, where all the other kittens are at, or the other cat-like people are at, and she just turns you around and sets you back towards. Okay, Captain Shenanigans. Heads you back towards the rest of the group, And of course, at some point in time, she lays down next to you all, and you notice the other four that are there with you just kind of clamber over to her, and like cats do, and starts nursing. So, why don't you tell me what the first few years are like with this cat family?
Once I figure out that I have to nurse and figure out I have brothers and sisters, I make sure they understand that I rule the brothers and sisters. I'm fighting with them all the time. It's just, I can't, it's every time that I tell somebody that I'm not from here, they laugh at me, and that causes me to fight. So I'm constantly, my mom thinks I'm telling stories, and my brothers and sisters, well, there's a reason why all of them only got one ear.
Okay, I just shared something in Discord, and I think I just sent it to the wrong person. Hold on. Shared it to Kurt. Sorry, Kurt.
Yeah. Close enough.
All right. Here you go.
Yep, exactly it. And the right color too. I'm red and white. And the one thing that that my mom doesn't understand that I have over my brothers and sisters is my claws are longer and sharper than the rest of the families. It's like maybe not the same dad, and that every time that she tries to groom me or something, my hair just keeps on going like that. I mean, it does not stay groomed or anything. And I'll roll around in the dirt. My mom is not a happy camper when I'm around.
But, I mean, you are her baby, so she tries to be as patient with you as possible. Well, now we'll jump into this. One night, y'all are having, your typical dinner as a family until some rough-looking humans kick in the door. They got clubs, and they come in and they start swinging. Unfortunately, your mother tried to fend them off. The lead one pulls out a short sword and cuts your mother down. Next thing you know, every one of you are thrown into the back of a wagon into a cage. And that's where we'll leave you off at. So, starting off as a good life, huh?
Hey,
You do have
where
a
I came
good...
from, it was just as bad.
Yeah, but you do have a few good years with this family, and you do bond with them, even though you beat the shit out of your siblings all the time. So, what's your character name, Kurt?
Mason Hawkins.
Mason. So why don't you give us a little heads up about, and you know what, Mason? I did have you listed in here. My mistake. I just didn't put your name in. So go ahead and give us a little information about Mason.
So, imagine this. Wind rushing past you. And then you just hear lights and sirens behind you, and then running away and then hiding. Next day, wakes up, goes to the, House of Waffles. Has to work. Dealing with, drunkards and the most wonderful people in the world cooking. And then rinse and repeat. Gets his kicks dealing with throwing people out of work, and then, once he saves up his money, bums off the government as much as he can, doesn't like working, but when he has to, he has to. Enjoys riding his motorcycle around as fast as he can, and then runs from the cops. And, eventually decides, I don't like living here. Moves across the country. Well, cops here, they like to chase, and they don't give up. Well, he rounds a corner. He's looking back. They're getting awful close. He looks forward. Sees the big old grill of a semi.
And that is pretty much the last thing you see is the headlights and the grill of this semi coming right at you. I mean, you're certain at some point in time before everything went black, you heard a crunch, but not really concerned with that because everything just goes to black. Another situation, you come to consciousness to a degree, and you feel like you're laying in straw, but there's like this softness around you. I mean, it's not under you because the straw's under you, but you got softness around you on all sides, and you're nice and warm. You open your eyes. That's a big ass fucking rabbit. There's another big rabbit. These rabbits are about the same size as you are. You look down and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I covered in fur? You are laying in a bed of straw, surrounded by, well, pretty much your siblings. They're all rabbits, of course. And there's a bigger rabbit person trying to take care of you. So why don't you tell us how your next few years look?
First thing he thinks, did he wreck? Is he in the hospital? Is he in a coma? But as the years go on, he starts just bumming as much as he can until he eventually just has to, keep on going. But he does as little as possible, but he's weary and thinking was just out of his mind, What is going on? This isn't what his life is, What is life?
Well,
So he's just...
Well, you deal with that for about 10, we'll say 10 years. Maybe 12.
He's just not dealing with it well. He's just... This is his family, but he's coping. And it's just like, okay, alright. Doing, it's like, takes his mind off it by trying to see what sticks in his system. Because it's like, he's a rabbit. What are they feeding him? How far can he push his system? It's like... But he's struggling. It's like...
Yeah.
Little old legs. He only gets to about tiny at this point if he's 10. Tiny.
But after a while you get like tired of being stuck right there at the house. So you decide to go out, adventure. Adventure. You're just trying to figure out what's going on outside the den that you're in.
Run off, disobey, of course.
Yeah, and you notice...
Never one.
You notice there's a fire or smoke or something off in the distance. Not that far from where you're at. So, hey, there's something going on over there. It's different from being stuck in this den with all these rabbit people. Let's go find out what's going on. And that's when you come across what looks like a village that is being put to flame by... Hey, it's the first humans you've seen in the last 10 to 12 years. They're kind of smelly looking. I mean, you can probably smell them from here. You try to get a closer look, and you notice... let's see. Austin, what does your character actually look like at this point in time? Or did we lose Austin? Alright, I suppose he'll be back here in just a minute. But anyway, you see a tabaxi. When Scott gets back, we'll let him describe what his tabaxi looks like. Being tossed into a cage in the back of a horse-drawn covered wagon. Wagons, swords, no cars, wooden buildings, no skyscrapers. It's definitely a strange, different world than you're used to seeing.
Real crazy.
Yeah, no late night Waffle House visits. But before you are able to do anything, you catch the whiff of another human right behind you as they picked you up by the scruff of your neck. You're kicking, you're making that mewling
Shouting,
rabbit kind of noise. And then they throw you into a cage.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to that tabaxi. And that's where we'll leave you. Robert, tell us about your character's past and how you died. Your mic. You're muted.
Thank you. Well, Russ was a fireman. Yeah. A couple days before, had been the launch of this year's calendar. He would have been Mr. March.
Good month.
Life was just going good. Yeah. Getting to spend a couple of days, in a row at the firehouse, it's one thing. But, it went by pretty quickly, and it was exciting, fun. Going out, rescuing people, putting out fires, really did kind of get to his adrenaline. And then, when he was off work, yeah, he could party, he could do whatever he wanted, go out to clubs. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Then he got a call, and he was at a house fire, and the chief sent him in with another person because supposedly there was somebody in the basement. Went in, started looking, going through all the smoke. Then something happened. Not sure exactly what, but he did feel a pressure wave hit him, and then fire just racing all around him as metal shards started piercing through his body. That's not the last thing he remembered.
Yeah, granted, the other guys that are with you, they didn't hear the child cry out that you swore up and down you heard that made you run back towards the back part of the building. But they did see the roof cave in around you.
Yeah.
Before everything went black to you. You come to awareness, and there's a conversation going on. You can hear it. Why don't you elaborate on that conversation you catch?
Oh, is that the thing I sent you?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear two people talking about the human hero as they turn towards you, and you can give the rest of it.
Oh wait, two people. Hold on.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, you said it was something like they're arguing over what to do with you.
No. This was something that occurred before he woke up. And
yeah, you've not woke up yet.
else?
But you do catch a glimpse of this conversation.
Yeah, no. This is somebody talking to him.
Ah, okay. Well.
Yeah. This was somebody talking to him going, oh, hold on. Much better, my lovely present. But why did you appear here? So curious to have your soul diverted. But you have been a naughty boy, my surprise. Ooh, but that is not all. There's so much more to you. You are now mine, little man. I will remake you in my image. And that's the word. Not what he gets to feel.
And then, let's see, where was I? Here we go. Next thing you know, you're wandering around the woods, and you hear the sound of a carriage on a dirt road, and you hear screams of something as it gets hit by that carriage.
Okay.
Now we'll jump to Ronnie. Ronnie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your past life?
So, Augie is a young man, early 30s, had been writing pretty much his entire life from early adulthood, published author. But late in his 20s, he is diagnosed with very early onset of dementia. as the years go on, he continues to try and write, but slowly he loses pieces and time and more pieces until the only thing he remembers is the sun hitting his face, sitting there, the sound of waves crashing on the shore, and the warmth on his face.
Yep. You're sitting on a bench near the beach, and you're watching the gulls, fly around. You're probably on the docks. You're not really sure. You came here for some reason, but for the life of you, you can't actually recall the reason you came here. That could be your own reason. As a player, you can figure that out on your own. But that breeze definitely feels nice, and the warmth of the sun on you is soothing. But you feel a little tired. It should be fine just to, close your eyes for a minute, take it all in. Images flash in your mind, but you can't make any connection to them. And then your breath starts slowing as you drift off. A nap. Should be fine. Yeah, a nap. Just as you believe you're drifting off to sleep, your mind gets flooded with what could only be memories. Before you open your eyes and see stone walls, well, you don't actually see these stone walls, but you know they're there. And you know you're on stone. You're in some sort of stone hallway, and you don't actually see it, but you know it's there. It's almost as if you're seeing it without any eyes. Like you're just envisioning it. You kind of drift to the... And it's weird how this works. You kind of want to look to your right because you're certain you can do so. And it's not like you've turned, but your focus turns right. You're like, well, that ain't right. You try to focus to the left. And you don't turn, but you focus to the left. Oh, you look down. And you focus, and it's like the floor is right there in your face. If you actually had put your face there, I could actually see it. But you feel it. It's right there.
Right.
And it's all weird. You don't quite understand what's going on here. Let's see. So, but what you do is you do like, well, what's behind you? And as you focus, I mean, you can't say you're turning and looking, but as you focus behind you, there's a big, like, glob of something, like, scooting down away from you, down a different, like, hallway or whatever. You're not certain what it is, but it definitely gives you the idea of Jell-O. And then you're like, well, I gotta find my way out of here. I gotta figure something out. And you're still looking that or focused that direction, and you feel like you've moved. But you didn't pick your legs up. Do you even have legs?
Yep.
And then you focus back in front, you focus that direction. And you continue to move on. At some point in time, you come across what could only be, I guess, described as a dead body. But it's in your way. You know what? I'll step over it and keep moving. There's nothing I can do about it, right? But you don't step. You just kind of like drift right over it. And you... Wait a minute.
Yep.
It tastes good. I didn't eat anything, did I? Wait. Then you stay there for a moment. And you're like, well, you're apparently eating something. You don't recall putting anything in a mouth, and don't even recall if you even have a mouth. You try to speak a few times, and nothing comes out. And then you realize as you move a little further that, well, that dead body that you were trying to step over, it doesn't have any flesh on it anymore. It's just bones.
Okay.
This is weird. So you continue to move on, and you go down one tunnel and down another tunnel. Well, you can't really call them tunnels. They're more like hallways. You can tell with whatever kind of vision you're currently dealing with. Like I said, you have no idea what it is because you're not actually seeing, but you are seeing. That's weird, isn't it?
It's
The walls are worked stone of some sort, and they're covered in some sort of algae. For some odd reason, because it tastes different. Why does it taste different? What do you mean it tastes different? But it does. It tastes different than the body or anything else you've moved across. And you realize anything you move across, you're actually eating. Whether it be the algae on the wall or the bodies on the ground or even the rats that can't get away from you. After a while of doing this, you find your way. I guess it's a doorway. It looks like an opening of some sort. And you can feel the heat of something on you as you're moving around. You can hear that sounds like birds. You remember the sound like birds sound because you heard the birds before you took your nap. And this has got to be a weird dream of some sort. But the grass tastes different than everything else too. Why is it grass? I'm not eating grass. Why does the grass taste different? And as you move on, you do pick up somehow sounds, maybe vibrations, screams, and you move closer to those particular sounds and screams. Scott, are you back with us? He is not muted. There he is.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so at one point in time, Curtis's character sees a tabaxi thrown in the cage. Do you tell us what? Can you tell us what your character looks like at that point in time?
okay, how old am I?
What did I say you were? I didn't actually give you an age, did I? We'll say about the same age, about 10 years.
Okay, so I'm a little kid then.
Yes, you're still a little kid.
Okay, so I'm probably about 5 foot at this time. So even for a little kid, I am tall. I am also broad.
Yeah, he's a muscle kitty.
Yep.
Oh.
I have short pants on, so black short pants on, white and red. Look like a tabby cat, but the hair, where cats are usually really close, the hair is out like really long, and as this person is throwing me in the yeah, about like that. And when this person throws me into the cage, the claw, when my hand hits the side of the cage, claws come out. Claws are, cat's claws are a little bit like that. Mine are like twice the size of the normal cat claws or a tabaxi's claws.
And what was your color?
I tried after I get thrown in there, I try my best to run up against the cage because I don't know what it is. Run up against the cage and try to barrel my way through it.
Yeah, in your mind, this is a cage match.
Yeah.
Once you're thrown in there, not too long after, a rabbit-looking character is thrown in a cage right next to you in the wagon.
Well, when he's thrown in, I try to, run for the door when it's open.
Actually, give me an acrobatics to see if just a D20. We'll say it's your acrobatics because right now you have not really got much to it. All right, and I will roll my D20. Oh, damn. Okay. You're not able to get out, but you are able to barely miss from getting pretty much body blowed by the rabbits tossed in there with you. All right, so at this point in time, we have Austin and Mason are in the back of a covered wagon with Austin's family or siblings. Actually, 2 of your siblings might be with you. It seems like the others were thrown into a different wagon. And you hear the wagon. You're moving down. You can hear the birds. Typically, the wagon's rocking. And then out of the corner, you hear one of the humans holler something. At this point in time, you've probably been able to pick up common. It's been 10 years. You should be able to speak a little common. You hear one of the drivers. Those kobolds? Yeah. Just run the fuck over. Then we'll get out of the way. They'll get out of the way if we run them over. And the wagon just comes barreling down, and you, back of the wagon, jumps up in the air as it definitely runs something over.
In English, I say, God, these people are fucking assholes.
That's when the wagon runs over your hunting party there, Reverend.
The fuck did you just say?
Can we...
In English.
Do we have our classes yet?
It's like, wait a second.
No, not yet. Technically, you're still a learning hunter.
Gotcha. But I'm the only one left, right?
Well, no, there's one other guy.
Okay.
It's kind of like you guys dove. Well, you did the whole drive-by, oh no shit, and ducked down and somehow didn't get clubbed to death by the horses. The other guys on each side of you get clubbed to death and rolled over by the wheels. But one other person apparently was just off to the side enough he dove and got out of the way.
Okay. I'm going to, just because this is the personality, he rushes over to the ones that are now dead, and he's grabbing them, he's picking them up. Oh, Lord, no, you've gone too soon, as I'm fiddling through his pockets for anything useful.
All right. Let's you give me a perception check. I'll just give me a d20 roll. We'll stick it that way until you actually have your classes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you don't really find much of anything. There is that half-eaten rat in one of their pockets, but that's... And, of course, the spear they were carrying, but your spear's a lot better. You know your spear's a lot better because you made your spear. Theirs is just a stick that's been sharpened on a rock. Now, let's see. Who else do we have?
Can I speak common right now, or...
You've dealt with humans that have come in, and I'm going to say you picked up a few words of it.
Like the cuss words and stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely the cuss words.
That's the first thing everybody learns when they learn a new
You've
language.
definitely learned the common cuss words, and maybe a few other words, but... So...
He will scream obscenities and shake his fist and...
What's up?
So what exactly does the rabbit and the cat...
Ask where the toilet is, or what?
Actually, let me rephrase this. What does the rabbit, the cat, and the guy in the box here? Because there is a box in the back of this wagon as well.
Oh.
What obscenities do you scream out there, Reverend?
Like, I hate you, like, you're a jerk, and, like, fuck you, and
And for some reason, there's a phrase of your mama's a goat fucker, but you don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah.
Just say that. Hold on. Yeah.
All right, so the three of you realize now that the three of you are in the same wagon. Reverend,
Well, I just hear voices.
Yeah, well, you can pick up common. It's in your programming. Reverend, you're laying on the ground. You're searching through the dead bodies as you're pretending that you cared what actually happened to them. This drifting, Robert, you drift through the woods towards where the sounds of the carriages are, and you see this scene before you. And as the kobold starts screaming obscenities and something about goat fucking and all that, the wagon, driver pulls it back and says, "Nah, I ain't dealing with that. Fucking little lizard's gonna die." So he stops the wagon, hops off, and starts walking towards the reddish-brown kobold, who is obviously looting the dead bodies of his comrades.
I start. I see him get off, and I see him start heading toward him, and I heard that. So I'm going to start banging on the cage. Run! Run!
Now you hear "run" coming out of the back of the wagon. And of course, you also hear the bang of a metal on metal as the guy who was riding shotgun turns around with his sword, slams it on top of the cage. Says, "Enough out of you, or I'm poking you."
But I don't understand anything they're saying.
No, you don't. It's not a cuss word.
Okay.
I'm gonna like nudge him a little bit as I'm looking over the box to see if I can open it and be like, "Did you fucking speak English earlier?" Like under my breath, but to him as he's screaming as I'm looking at the box to see if I can open it. Like if it's got a latch or if it's nailed shut.
What the fuck? You understood that?
Yeah, you would have understood that because that's in a language you remember speaking before you died.
Wait,
What the hell? How'd you know? What the hell are you? You looks good enough to eat.
Yeah, no, I fucking died and now I'm this. I don't know what I am. As I'm looking at the box.
And you're looking at a cat as you're saying this.
Yeah, it's like, what the...
What do I see in the box? Like, what does he look like?
But you don't see them. They're in the wagon.
Oh, they're in the wagon. Okay.
Yeah, they're in the wagon. They see each other. And
you hear bickering, I
yeah.
guess.
I mean, you might see part of a cage and maybe furry paws going up in the air.
Yeah, because I talk with my arms. Yes. I enunciate with my arms.
What you're focused on there, Reverend, is the fact that there's this rather dirty human walking towards you with a sword in hand.
Not realizing that I hover at this point, I am moving over to this wagon.
All right. As you move towards the wagon, the guy walking away from the wagon towards the kobold in the middle of the road turns and swings as the other kobold who dove out of the way runs out of the bush with his spear out and tries to stop said human. Unfortunately, he wasn't good enough. The human sidestepped, parried the spear, and decapitated your remaining hunting party. Before an arrow bolt somehow makes its way through his head. It's like sticking out his eye and out the back of his neck.
So he just kind of like...
He just kind of stops.
Potato sacks and just falls over.
And it's got that like confused look in one of the eyes. And then he falls.
I'm going to now stab the dead body. Like, yeah, that's what you get.
Robert, as you move closer to the wagon...
Yeah, I'm trying to move to the other person, the one that was driving.
Right. As you move closer to him, same scenario. He turns back from slapping the cage with his short sword, only for an arrow to appear in his throat. And about this time, you notice this green cube of Jello come smoothly making its way out of the woods towards the road. And it's gets the sense that there's a spirit floating around there next to this wagon. And the kobold in the middle of the street.
What the... I mean, I don't know who shot you, but thank God they did. All in English. All in English.
Can I understand the English?
Anybody who has a previous life understands this language, and only those people understand this language.
I think there's someone stuck in this box.
hello there? Anybody out there?
Oh God, it's an English guy.
Come on, mate, this ain't funny no more. Let me out.
Or Australian.
No. That's British Posh English.
Okay, yeah.
We can leave them in there.
You guys speak
What's
English?
going on?
Can you understand me?
Yeah, can you get us out? They gotta be
I will
some
move
keys
over.
somewhere.
Oh, this is the perfect moment. What do I get out of this?
I will look for keys on the two dead people.
I will search, but I'm not really searching for keys. I'm just like rummaging through pockets, but like, don't worry, I help.
Yep, you find some gold. A few other
I'll do
items.
So,
What do I offer him?
Josh, when my character
I don't know what
comes
it is.
over,
I don't know.
I'm a floating torso and head and arm. From the waist down, I just seem to be smoke or ectoplasmic vapor. When I turn, half of my face is gone. I mean, down to the bone in some cases, in some places.
I seen this movie. Don't hurt me.
And you can see through me.
God.
You... What are you?
Why are you a ghost?
No. I mean, I don't feel like a ghost, but anyway,
Will my finger poke through him?
no idea what you are.
Will my finger poke through him?
Yeah. I'm not completely incorporeal. I mean, you kind of have some resistance, but...
Does this hurt?
No. Stop. What are you?
What am I? Well, you see here, I'm the Reverend Pimp Daddy Slim.
Okay, but not what I'm talking about. You are this weird...
Do we know
I'm not
what
sure
our
if you're a
race
reptile.
Not really.
We don't. I'm a gecko. It looks like.
You flew over the carriage, right?
I flew around it.
Yeah, but we saw Robert, right?
No idea as fuck. I don't know if I saw it over the carriage.
Give me a D20 roll on each of you for like a spot check.
Look, they're calling for...
Yes, you guys actually do see this ghostly creature fly around the wagon.
Look who's talking. What the hell are you?
The ghost?
His
I'm just a
name's
human,
Casper.
son.
It looks like. Look at it. He just keeps poking, making swirls in the.
I mean, you're...
Oh, you do find a pack of cigarettes,
talking
some sort of tobacco or whatever in the guy's pocket.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking cat. Get the damn keys.
Wait, I'm hearing voices in my head. Did y'all hear that?
This
Why
is the talking.
Disney nightmare?
I look over.
This is a talking rabbit.
All right, I got that.
Hey, what's your name, Bugs? Yep, it's gotta be
no,
Bugs.
Mason.
No, it's Bugs.
Fuck.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
Look,
you're
here are the
a
keys.
rabbit named Mason.
Oh, thank you.
Here are the key.
All right.
Are you
As it
able to touch
partially
solid
goes
objects?
through-
Do you not go through it, or
No,
are
I
you
can
able
grab
to?
them.
You can grab it. Okay.
Yeah, I can grab it, but you notice my arm kind of does, like, move through part of the wagon.
At this point in time, the body that you've been searching through, that little green jello thing that you've noticed coming towards the road is like crawling up the legs, and you're hearing this sizzling, and you smell this weird like acid burning type smell coming from it. And then, of course, these little pseudopod things, these little tentacles kind of come off of it and kind of start gripping into the pockets and such. And I'm sure you're the one who's heard something in your head.
They all did.
Oh, they all did? He's the only one I heard say something about it.
Yeah, it's like I heard something in my head.
Oh shit.
Gosh.
Like,
Okay. We got.
What the hell is this?
I grabbed the keys from Casper, and I'll open up the.
Just call me
unlock the door.
Russ.
This is Bill Cosby's rejected pudding pop. What the hell?
Look, I don't know what's going on. I come from an influential family. Please.
Yeah,
Release me.
Influential, you say?
After I get the door open, I'll go over to the box that the Englishman is in and see if I can open it.
Yeah, it's a crate. It's like it's been nailed shut with nails or something.
Oh,
But you guys are already out because the keys were given to you. Yep. So you do find what looks like a crowbar. It doesn't look like a crowbar you're used to seeing, but yeah, it's a crowbar, and you're able to put it in there. Give me a D20 with nothing added to it. Just give me a D20 roll. This will be your athletics. Actually, at this point, no, never mind. Natural 20. You're a strong kitty cat.
I'm just mad about the whole situation, so I'm taking it out on this crate.
Yep. You pop that crate open and look inside, and you see.
You see a. Actually, it's probably easier if I just pop it in.
Show it to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, our viewers won't be able to see it.
Okay. A robot of sorts. He looks.
Have you shared it on your character? I mean, miniature?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the character sheet. Let me.
I'm also just putting out my token for Russ.
But yeah, I'll drop it in Discord.
I got it.
Well.
I just brought it up for the viewers to see it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Mine also, so.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
obviously a robot. You guys know what a robot is. You've seen those on sci-fi and.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going. I moved the robot out of the way, looking for the person that's supposed to be in there.
What the fuck are you?
And you see this big, this muscular cat crawling all over you, trying to move you out of the way.
Wait.
Where are you, Englishman?
I'm not bloody here.
Mr. Influential Man, how rich are
Step
you?
away. I'm allergic to cats.
Oh no, it's Skyman.
Well, I must say, I've heard pretty much every language out there. You guys are definitely speaking an odd language. Do any of you speak Common? And then if you're in Draconic, do you speak Common by any chance? As a guy dressed in leathers, comes walking out of the woods with a large bow in hand and a looks like a tiger walking beside him.
I wave to the tiger. Hi.
It just growls.
You too.
Oh, shit!
Angry pussycat.
Was that you that spoke in our heads, or Maybe
No, you're
what's
talking to
over
me. I don't
jelly.
do that speaking in heads thing. Is that a gelatinous cube on that body?
And I'm slithering up the rest of the body. You see a skull in in the middle, just floating.
It's a sentient bugger, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm guessing you little green fella was what was just in my head.
Who are you?
My name is Roderick McBain, and I'd like to welcome you to.
Sounds white.
Yeah, you're a very confusing little kobold, aren't you?
A what? Would you call me that? Put his fist up. Would you call me?
And the tiger beside him just digs its claws in the ground and starts growling at you. No, it's enough. It's all right.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. What kind of fucked up Alice in Wonderland dream is this?
I don't have any idea what an
And I
Alice in Wonderland
start slapping
is.
myself. Wake up.
Excuse
Are
me.
you functioning correctly there? Do you need a
I
diagnostics
just woke
check?
up.
Woke up?
I don't know. Do I speak common?
Yeah, you actually are able to speak common.
Okay. Look, I just woke up. I have no idea about talking animal and talking whatever that is. The pointing down to the kobold.
Yeah, if I would have seen you attack the rest of the wagon, I probably would have taken you out too, but you seem a little different than the undead I'm used to fighting.
Didn't your mama tell you not to
Undead?
point?
Yes, undead, zombies, ghosts, vampires, and the like.
So it's the zombie apocalypse. I get it now. No wonder this whole world's fucked.
You're a little
My
fo-
mama just got killed.
They
Oh, shit, I seen this movie. Black man dies first. Oh, God.
What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Molly,
So
Johnny,
Roderick
go.
looks down at the cat. He's like, definitely an interesting catch this time around. I think they might all be broken.
I ain't broken.
So
Oh.
I go back to the cage and I grab my brother and sister and jump down and start heading away from everyone.
You won't make it
Wait,
very
wait,
far.
wait.
I'm offering you a
What?
place to stay and learn. I
That
kind of
includes
do
my
that.
brother and sister,
Can you what, your brother and sister?
Molly and Jolly.
What about Molly and Jolly? They are more than welcome to join us.
Mama's dead.
What are you teaching?
Wait. Why were these things being captured?
Well, these are slavers, and they tend to make them.
Whoa, what?
And you know, the animal folk tend to be their favorite things to take.
I'm sorry,
Apparently,
but the
you, on the other hand, are an oddity, my friend.
Yes.
I'm sure somebody purchased you from somewhere, or you were stolen. Either way.
No.
Is this guy a human? Like, is he?
He appears to be human, and rather, how to put it, wild, I guess, in a way. He's not real clean cut. He's got, the beard and all that stuff going. Probably some pieces of tree leaves or whatever in his hair, but you can definitely tell that the arrows that are sticking out of the coral that he's carrying, I guess that's a proper phrase for it, the quiver that he's carrying with him, match the arrows in the neck and face of the two slavers.
Okay.
He actually goes over and retrieves his arrows from the bodies as he's talking to you guys.
Sorry, way too much has happened in a short period of time. Who are you again? And where are you taking them now? You're not another slaver.
Oh no, I can't stand slavers. My name is Roderick McBain. I have a compound nearby that I tend to take wayward souls to and teach them how to survive on their own. 9 times out of 10. Great. Give me a second. I mean, you're more than welcome to move on your own, but surviving out here in this forest is not ideal for people who don't know how to actually survive on their own.
Great question. Where in the hell are we?
Well, you're in West Videstia. Where else would you be?
West Virginia.
Western.
No,
What?
what's this Virginia?
What?
I don't know of Virginia. You're in West Videstia.
Where's
how
that?
far is that from Westminster?
Detroit.
Well, seeing as I don't understand any of those names you're mentioning, I'm going to say it's probably a long way.
Well, you're speaking our language.
I'm speaking Common, which is the common tongue for most people. I'm not speaking English.
I
That
thought
would be
you were speaking English.
that would be the DM saying I'm not speaking English. I'm speaking.
Okay.
No, I'm
So,
speaking Common. It's the trade language. I figured for the most part you would know that language. I don't understand the language you were speaking a moment ago. That was kind of weird. I know
Now I do
several languages myself, and I've heard all sorts spoken throughout the world. But yours, on the other hand, I've not. Whatever that was you were talking, I've not heard. Look, you're more than welcome to come with me. I'll give you a place to sleep, a place to train, some food in your bellies. If you wish to move on from there and try to make your way out of the woods on your own, you're more than welcome to. Or the next time a supply train decides to go to town, you're more than welcome to ride with them and be on your way. I'm just offering you an opportunity to learn to survive and perhaps fight on your own. I will even let your
Another thing-
strange little jelly friend, who is actually a gelatinous cube, join you, as long as he
Can I try to
promises
take
not
a
to eat any of the
form?
other children. Huh?
Can it try to hold some kind of like bodily form?
Why don't you give me a concentration check? Which I think is a constitution roll.
Yes.
Um,
Also, while y'all are seeing him,
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
able.
Steve
Actually, somehow you're like you see all these humanoid shape. Well, you feel these humanoid shapes. You're like, I was human once, wasn't I? And with that memory, you're able to like put 2 pseudopods out to the sides and two pseudopods at the bottom, and you can't walk yet because you're not used to the balance of shape. But you do take on some semblance of a humanoid form.
And I would reach out and try, thinking I'm speaking, let everyone know, look, I'm not here to hurt you.
And you all definitely hear all his conversation in your head. He doesn't have a mouth to speak with.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am. I'm just as confused as the rest of you.
Now, this Westford desk you speak of, is that in Africa or in Asia?
What did you just say?
Is Africa
Here we go.
or Asia? I don't understand those. I don't know any continents by those names.
Dan, another thing that, now that you can see my face fully, the side that actually is whole, there appears to be either a bird or a scar, maybe a tattoo, that looks like a winding black river. And so he might know what that means because my character still doesn't.
He doesn't.
Okay.
Listen, Mr.
You are actually the
Jungle
first one
Man.
that Roderick has seen.
Okay. Yeah. It's a holy symbol, that's why.
What were you saying, Josh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen here, Mr. Powder Toast Man, or whatever you say your name is. Listen, do you got good food?
Well, I mean, it all depends upon your good food. You're a kobold by all chance, so I'm sure the food I have is a lot better than what you've been eating.
I certainly hope so. I vote we go. I'm going.
I mean, we actually cook the food back at the compound. Don't think kobolds do that on a regular basis.
No.
So,
no,
I-
it's
I
not
gra-
good.
I grab the hands of Molly and Jolly. I walk over to the cat, and I place Molly and Jolly on the back of the cat.
As you go to do so, he kind of like looks at you and gives you one of those growling noises. Like, I'm not a fucking mount.
Scratch him on the back of the ear.
Give me a d20 roll for now. We'll see how well of your animal handling check would be.
15.
For some odd reason, he kind of likes that and understands what you're trying to do, so he squats down and lets you put your siblings on his back.
Okay, let's go. They're going to start going nuts here soon because my mama just died, so we're kind of in a little bit of a state here.
Well,
Sorry for your loss, little one.
my apologies. It tends to be what happens when they raid.
So the robot man is the one that has. You have the robot voice. I mean the British voice, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
try to hold it, but I keep forgetting.
Okay.
I'm not good with accents.
So how influential are you? I mean, how much somebody gonna pay? I mean, if we was to like give you up to someone, is what I'm saying. Not that I would do that or nothing.
Well, we'll need to get back to London.
Once
I don't
again,
know if I'm-
Dis, I don't quite know what this London is you're referring to.
See, the bridge keeps falling down, is what I keep hearing.
I'll be right back.
And from everything I've been picking up on, I don't think we're gonna get back there anytime soon, if at all.
You coming, Bugs?
And he just walks over near.
Casper, you coming?
Russ. Just call me Russ.
All right, Casper.
What's your name? Fuzzy Nuts, what's your name?
My name's
Now
Austin.
I have a reject
Austin.
of an Andrew Lloyd Webber show. Bloody Casper.
Bulbous will walk up next to the cat. Look at him. I guess all we're missing is the Scarecrow and Dorothy, huh?
Got it. Let's go over to Rainbow. Let's go. I'm hungry.
Oh, I've been over the rainbow a time or two.
The Yellow Brick Road.
I guess that's our Scarecrow.
Yeah. So,
You guys are the most confusing group that I've ever had the opportunity to rescue, or even meet, for that matter.
that was...
You're almost
Fine way of
as
putting it.
tiring as dealing with Shadrach himself.
Who?
Shadrach.
Who?
No concern of yours. It's just a friend of mine I've known for several years, or an associate of mine. Anyway, just come with me. We'll make our way back. And as you guys are walking behind him, and he's taking you through the woods itself, you keep mentioning off all these locations and stuff, and he's like, I know of a few continents, and I'll just name a few of them off to you. We're currently in Vedestia. That's the name of this continent. We're on the western end of Vedestia.
Where's that on the map here?
Right here is Verdestia. This is west, and this, of course, is east. Now, he goes, now north of us, of course, is the Orc nation of Nordruk.
What nation? What's a what? An
Whoa,
orc?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nordruka is like north of us. It's a continent north of Verdestia. South of us is Sundestia, and then off to the further southeast is Crooks. Now there's other places.
He said orcs, right?
Yes, orcs.
Okay.
Like the Lord of the Rings and stuff?
I was about to say, you know the next thing he's going to say is there are elves and dwarves too.
Well, of course there are elves and dwarves.
Oh, shit.
I mean, well,
It's little people, not dwarf.
So it's a
That's
cosplay nightmare.
little people.
they've got Garoons. There's also, well, I mean, there's several different races. You'll learn all this as you. Surprised you
So are
don't
we
already
in
know.
Middle Earth then?
What's this Earth? You're in Zalthe. The name of this planet is Zalthe, not Earth. I don't know what this
Planet?
Earth is.
What? Zahuthi?
You guys are very confusing.
Just 'cause we're
We're
confused.
confusing. We
How
all
many
know
light
what we
years?
talking about. You the one that don't. You the confusing one.
Are we from Mars? Or Milky Way? Solar system?
I'm
You
sorry.
said this.
What?
You said this planet is called Zaythe.
Yes.
So
Oh, this realm, this planet, whatever you call it. I mean, as far as I know. I mean,
I
we
think
have
to help
sun. There's 2 moons. I mean,
2 moons.
And
did we space travel?
what constellation do you have here?
what was that question?
Constellation?
I knew a constellation. Shows me $20.
You might be able to find her in Docket Haven, I suppose.
I see. I was saying that to help the. I'm sorry, I didn't. Looking at the robot, I didn't get your name.
Pardon me. Very rude of myself. I didn't introduce myself.
Tin
I am
Man.
Bobus Hinton.
Tin Man.
Obus Hinton?
Bobus, yes, it's a family name.
Tin Man. And he's the one that brought it up. Mr. Pimp Guy.
It's the Reverend Pimp Daddy Slim. It's like
Okay.
a tribe named Journey. You gotta say the whole thing.
Okay, I just have one question for you. You were born in the 50s?
No.
Because I don't know anybody that talks like you anymore.
Wait, did you have the pleasure of knowing one then?
Pleasure.
Oh, it's all mine, believe me. It's my pleasure.
And the cat turns around. The hair on the back of his neck goes up even further. And he just walks with his siblings.
Told you, Scarecrow.
Roderick, thank you for your hospitality.
I'll mention it. Like I said, hopefully you'll stick around for a while and learn something.
And
So-
you see me try to take a step, and I just collapse back into goo.
What the hell
So
is
you
that?
are the Gooey cube. Okay.
In some way, shape,
Me
or form,
too.
sure.
And the funny thing is, when he rolled his reincarnation, it was either the slime, the gooey cube, or what was the other one I gave you?
Dragon or Alkin.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, White, you know what? Let's see how this goes. So, you're going to hear my soft voice ask you, I'm guessing Dan, for some sort of ride because I can't walk and I don't think I can keep up to y'all currently in this state.
Yeah. I'm not touching you.
Get a
I've-
stick, kind of
I've-
put it in the middle of
Can
it.
he
and
can he ride in the cart?
What seems to be wrong with him? I'll reach out and touch him.
Yep. And nothing.
Okay. Try to grab him as my hands go into him.
Yep.
I will grapple you.
And the wooden parts of your hands do start to sizzle a little bit.
Ooh. Hey.
He's an
And
acidic bugger. I seen this movie once. They lay eggs inside of it.
You're not going there.
Hey, you'll hear me in just a soft, like almost whisper. Be like, pimping ain't easy, bro.
Damn right it's not shit. I walk with a limp because I'm an old school pimp.
all right.
Well, I would help you, but it doesn't seem that I could get a hold of you. And
I'll
yet,
hold on to you now. I will grapple you.
but you seem to be burning my body of some sort.
It's just a flesh wound.
So yes, you start actually taking damage when he grapples a hold of you.
Alright, I'll let go.
You do notice that you're leaving marks in the wooden part of his
As
body.
soon as I see that I'm even remotely hurting him, I'll let go.
So
Electrical discharge.
so the I don't know what your race is called again. Why don't you grab one of the cages out of the back of the wagon, and maybe we can pick you up with that. It's inorganic. It's metal. It seems that the metal wasn't melting on you when you reached into him like an idiot.
Well, no one told me I couldn't.
Yes, future reference. The gelatinous cubes they digest what they come across, unless it's inorganic, which pretty much means the organic parts of your makeup would be damaged from them.
Marcus, you hear me? Just again a soft whisper. You taste like shit.
Sorry, I'm a bit rusty on what's going on here.
I'll go over there and get one of the cages and pull it off the wagon.
And I'll kind of slide.
He just kind of slides through the bars.
Right,
You know, like
I'll
the
shoot
Terminator in
like a-
T2 where he goes through the bars.
Now I'll grab onto the cage with one hand in my claws. I don't care how bumpy it is. While we're going through here, I don't care if I hit roots. I'll carry the cage
And
or drag the
thank
cage.
you. I thank you kindly.
Just don't mess with my brother and sister. We'll be good.
So it takes you, let's say, several hours. Looks like the sun's starting to get low in the sky.
Oh, my
And
time.
you've seen nothing but trees. Maybe some strange animals here or there. And then a clearing up ahead, and it opens up, and there's a compound. I mean, you've got a central area, and there's other people there, different races of all sorts. You see Very tall, blue-looking people. Some rather lithe-looking characters with the pointy ears. Some short blue people. And some other regular humanoid size orange colored people. And of course, some dwarves. Maybe even looks like a kid running around, but seems a little more grown than a kid would be. And they're all like doing different kind of exercises in the middle of the courtyard area. Like it looks like a training grounds. You got obstacles and weapons being, bows being shot at targets and people doing hand-to-hand combat. Off to the side, there's a gold skinned woman with like flowers and stuff all over her shoulders and horns sticking out of her head or out of her hair like antlers, and she's messing around with some plants. Well, hello, welcome to my home. The barracks are in that building over there. You find yourself an empty bed, a locker or whatever, and make yourself comfortable. Seems we've not missed dinner yet, so dinner will be in about an hour or two. Just listen out for the bell, and for right now, just familiarize yourselves with the compound, and we'll go from there.
Is this what the common folk call a ring fair?
Once again,
Dude,
you
how do
speak
you
very
think
crazy things, and
You
I don't
call them
understand.
common folk.
in English, I go, dude, how do you figure it out? We in a fantasy world.
This has to be a dream.
Well, you're a dream because you in a freaking robot body.
Wait, I was working on an AI system prior. Did that come into one of my creations?
Sure.
Yes, this is a simulation.
Okay.
I'm
You can
not
end
About,
it
in
are
right
you
this
now.
talking about Tron and stuff? You Tron?
Truly, I don't know anymore.
What's a Tron?
I don't know, some nerd shit. I don't know.
Ain't seen it.
Yeah,
Very good cult classic.
So I head with my brother and sister. I take them off the cat and head into the barracks to get them situated. And I'll carry the cage, drag the cage in, and I just put the cage on the bed.
The universal garbage disposal.
But hey, I guess you don't want to be called Booger. So what's your name?
My name's Augie.
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 Augie. So
Oi, oi, oi.
Wait.
So we got an Augie, we got a Pimp Daddy, we got a Ghost, we got a Rabbit, we got a freaking cat. What am I missing? Oh, and we got a dog. Well, no, that's the pimp.
ain't no dog. What the hell?
What's this?
Apparently, I am a cobalt, cobalt. I had a car once that was a cobalt.
A kobold? Okay.
A few minutes after you guys can get your stuff in your room,
These
couple
quarters
kids.
will not do.
a couple kids come running in. Look, I told you, I saw them. They're right there. Well, I didn't believe you because you always say you see all sorts of things. It's time for the hunt. I didn't believe you because you say you see all sorts of things. Well, I told you I saw some tabaxi and a Haragon. They're right there, see? Yeah, but I don't think they're going to let you pet them.
Who?
Haragon.
We all got our hair getting the robot.
I
Is
have
that
hair.
is that a ghost? It looks like a ghost. I didn't say you
looks
saw
like-
any ghosts. What about the lizard guy? I don't know. Mommy said that we're supposed to stay away from them because they steal children at night and eat them.
Babies are delicious. Ah.
And they run all screaming.
I hate kids.
Well,
So,
everyone. Oh, go on.
which one of us is what? I heard them say Vexi and Haragon. Are you a
Yeah.
Haragon?
No, you got to be the Haragon because you're a hair. Have you looked in the mirror? Neither have I. Don't answer
Yeah,
that question.
exactly. I was gonna say I haven't seen a mirror.
Actually, are there any mirrors?
No, because they're rather pricey and there's no need for them in this compound.
Right.
I have looked in the creek, and I'm a cat. I guess that may be what a tabaxi is, because she kind of pointed in my direction and your direction when he said the two things. And I'm sorry, because I'm gonna have to write notes down. I know you don't want to be called Bugs because I keep getting that stupid look from your face every time I call you that. So, what's your name again?
Mason.
Mason. I'm gonna have to say it about another 100 times before I get it. I'm kind of slow sometimes. My manager said I got hit a couple of times too hard.
Manager? What kind of manager?
Yeah.
Oh,
You-
I'm a
you an
professional. I was a professional wrestler. I even fought the Undertaker.
Ah, right. Nice.
Oh, come on,
But
guys.
never heard of you.
Well, no, I was on the indie circuit. I just made it to the big leagues.
Okay. Actually, that's interesting.
Oh God.
So you were a professional wrestler.
Yes.
How about everyone else?
What were you?
I was a firefighter.
Oh, you got burned to death, huh?
Well, I think I was actually in an explosion.
Okay, because how are the rest of us kind of alive and you're still dead?
I'm a gooey cube.
God. Oh, okay.
You're a what?
I think it checks out.
I mean,
No,
he ain't wrong.
That's true.
He's green. He's green.
And you see me, Jello, it's live.
I love Jello.
We can tell.
So what were you in the previous life, Mr. Jello?
I wrote books.
You wrote books, and now you're a slime. I mean, a cube.
That's
listen,
not funny.
I went-
That's a little funny.
I went to sleep on the beach and I woke up here.
You drowned.
I was
High tide's a
dead.
bitch, let me tell you.
You got pimp in your name. Were you a pimp?
Hell yeah. I was a pimp. See, I was a hustler. I was a dealer. Listen. I did a little bit of, I had my hand in a little bit of everything.
Alrighty.
Listen, the Revs have to make money. However way he can.
What is money in this world?
I don't know, but I got a pocket full of gold. Look.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so gold. Gold is money. I got you. That works.
You actually don't just have gold, you have some coppers and some silvers. Because those adventures had all sorts of different shiny metals on them that nobody else really knew what they were. But you, being what you are, is like, yeah, this looks like a penny, this looks like a silver piece, this looks like a golden dollar.
Right.
Get money.
Even though that's not what their worth is.
Unfortunately, no Sacagawea on this one. I don't know who this is on it.
And my brother and sister Molly and Jolly, they don't speak English. They ain't from they from this world. It looked like
They speak pussycat.
they speak pussy.
Hey, Bubba, what is it you saying?
I'm
I never heard you talk like that before.
because I didn't think y'all could understand me, babies.
Because I can't. You sound
I
weird.
hate to do this, but I actually have to run. I have to go meet a deputy officer somewhere.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. We're back, and our cameras are a little messed up at the moment, but I will take care of those. Give me just a moment. That's not going to do it. There we go, and I need to swap places with Gert. Excellent. All right, so when we left our group off before our little break, they were all settling in, let's see. The two siblings were trying to find out why their big brother, who powered, body slams them all the time, was wondering what kind of strange language they were speaking. We've had some children get scared off from the kobold who says something about eating babies and how good they are, and so you guys have settled in somewhat. What would you like to do now?
Kind of explore a little bit about this compound.
Yeah.
All right. So as you
What is the cosmetic makeup of said barracks? Is it wood? Is it stone?
it's fine. You're able to
Okay.
move across it without causing too much of a problem.
Okay.
But you do pick up the fact that somebody's had snacks in here, and you are able to determine the flavor of the snack. Blah blah blah. Because you've picked up little crumbs and stuff on the ground as you're moving your way around.
I feel like a Roomba up in here.
Well, that's what you are. You are the Roomba of the Dungeons and Dragons world.
The garbage disposal.
This is fun. And it's weird because I'm picking up tastes that I've never tasted before.
Yep, you are picking up all sorts of weird tastes. Some metallic, some not too metallic. Some also, you're pretty certain somebody might have stepped in something and tracked it inside, but you're fine. It's organic. It tastes fine to you. You don't really care about the taste.
Protein.
But yeah, you guys, as you leave the barracks,
Is it?
like I said, you leave the barracks. You see people doing different aspects of, whether it be combat style training or other things. You hear the slam of a hammer on metal, which is there's a blacksmith nearby making nails or so. He's not making weapons, but he's making tools.
Okay.
You've got just different people from different walks of life. So what exactly would you guys like to find out?
Well, Russ is actually going to go around. He's looking for anyone that's playing music.
All right. Give me a d20.
Yay! My dice are rolling.
Yeah. It takes you a while, and before you're able to find anybody that's actually doing any kind of music playing, you hear the sound of a bell.
Okay.
And it sounds like a triangle. Ding, 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 ding. So, in that time...
mention dinner.
Yeah. Like I said, about a couple hours. Within that time period, what would anybody else like to be doing?
I'm gonna make myself useful in the only way I know how at this point. In a new place, instead of lounging about, I feel like I should at least, be grateful in some form of way. I'm gonna go to the cooks area, since that's the only thing I know how to do in this world.
Okay. Let's
And I'm
see.
gonna see what they make.
Yeah, currently there's a
What
couple
makes
humans, on male and female in there, working on, grilling some meat, cutting up some vegetables, that kind of thing.
Rabbit stew.
I'll bite them and they'll probably die.
you see the slab of meat, but you don't exactly know what it is.
Have I discovered what is edible for my race?
Well, you've been around and alive for like 10 years eating grains
Still
and
fairly
vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah, is that mainly it?
That's
Alright.
mainly all your mama's been feeding you.
Okay. So, probably just that. So I'll just offer to give them a hand in the way I know how, and chopping up, and see if they'll allow me to help.
Oh, well, certainly.
Even though I'm fucking tiny and, all of 2 feet tall at best.
Well, I mean, you can wash these vegetables for us. I don't know if I want to hand you a knife to cut anything. Have you ever cooked before?
I've got some experience, yeah.
What have you made in the past?
I don't know if you know what waffles are. I've scrambled eggs, I've cooked hash browns, I've made everything under the sun that I could think of.
Omelets.
Omelets.
Well, I mean, I understand eggs. We do have eggs. I don't know what this waffle is or hash browns. And what was it? What else did you mention?
Omelets?
I don't know what an omelet is. You may. I mean, this may be something cultural. I mean,
it's a homemade thing, It's just. I'll just go with what, I'll just start washing and.
Okay, well,
describing what it is while I wash and
You
chatter
hear
at
an
them.
audible gurgle every time you mention waffle coming from the kitchen.
Or pancakes, or, that type of thing. Because those are a little easier for what would be made here, since there's no such thing as waffle irons. But French toast, do they really have toast here? They have bread, I'm sure, but
yes, we do have bread. And what's toast? I mean, you just toast it over the fire or something?
oh well, you would get some egg, and you would slather it on the outside, and you would cook that. Just describe how to make French toast.
I mean, is this a breakfast? We usually do eggs in the morning.
Yeah, it's a breakfast thing.
Okay, what about dinner kind of stuff? Do you got anything dinner that you've made in the past?
Hamburgers.
Yeah.
What's a hamburger?
Like when you go and like cattle and the meat, even
Cattle.
the venison you would get from
Venison we do have. That's kind of the main meat we have right now is venison.
Yeah, you could use that.
Well, we call it deer, but yeah.
Meat from them. Yeah. You would take that and you would make patties out of the excess burger meat.
She slides the tray of like meat sections over to you. So how do you make a patty out of that?
Like I would take the ground up, like the excess, you need to grind it up, so chop it up into just fine ground up.
And they may understand minced meat.
Yeah, minced meats.
Minced. Oh, I mean, yeah, we chop it up in the small slices, but I don't know what this ground is. I mean, you put it in a pedestal and you cause that sounds more of a.
Just trying to think of a way to do it with, but being like that's the thing. Modern day and them not having the tools that I'm used to, and my guy's not the smartest duck. But so yeah, you can make burgers out of it. Is the way that I like to think of it being called. But
Well, as you're in there cooking with them
And
and
just
discussing
jabbering in
this
their ear.
and confusing the hell out of them,
oh yeah,
the female, her name is Sousa. She's introduced herself as Sousa. Is writing down some of this information that you're coming up with. It's got looks like a bird feather type thing, and she's writing it down on a piece of parchment that doesn't look like paper, but obviously is working like paper. At one point in time, she introduces the gentleman with her. His name is Zed. And you do find out through the time of helping them prepare dinner that they are a married couple. So their surname is Morning Willow. And you spend the rest of the next couple hours helping them cook. How about somebody else? And I'm guessing the Gooey Cube is in there gurgling with him.
I mean, you would hear me talk I'm working my way through trying to find any semblance of a library. Not that it's going to do me any good. I just don't know that yet.
Any good?
Any good.
Okay.
I describe coffee.
Give me a D20
and
roll.
If they have anything like that. Of course.
Okay. It doesn't take you long. You do find attached to like the main building, it's not a glass door, but you ease your way through the seams of these doors, and you do find what looks like a library.
I'm just observing because I obviously like what do I see? Like, are there people in there reading?
There is a person in there reading.
All right, so I would try not to sneak up on them or startle them, but I would speak to them and say, "Hello, may I join you?"
Okay. It's a young woman, and she kind of screeches when she sees you, but then you speak to her, and she's like, "Oh, is that you?"
Yeah. Yes, I didn't mean to startle you. Like, this is all new to me as well. But I love to read. I love to write. I just am trying to get some grasp on where I am and what has happened.
Well, you do. This is kind of strange. I've heard of gelatinous cubes that are somewhat sentient, or at least conscious of their own surroundings. I've never actually ran into one. I don't. And you're also kind of small. I mean, usually they're about the size of a tunnel, a hallway. I'm sorry. And she thumbs through some pages on the book she's actually doing, and she turns it and points it at you. And there is a picture of a gelatinous cube with all this stuff written in an unusual language that you don't recognize. And you actually notice as she turns the book toward you, her ears are somewhat pointed. Not real sharply pointed, but just a little pointed.
Is that what I look like?
Yes, kind of. I'd have to say you do.
Oh, boy. So...
You didn't know that's what you were?
I,
This is very strange.
You're telling me.
And she seems kind of analytical.
Do you have any maps or like?
Oh, maps. Maps are in the map book. It's up over. Oh, yeah. You can't reach that yet. This library has all sorts of things. We have maps of the areas. There's also history books. And other kind of. I mean, is there something particular? I don't know if she gets you one.
Fantasy smut, to be honest. No.
I'm sorry, but the copy of Orcs on Orcs has been loaned out to somebody.
If you can just point me to the maps, maybe just so I can familiarize myself with where we are and kind of learn.
Oh, well, that's easy to do. I don't have to. And she points to a wall, and on the wall is this huge map, and you can recognize it as a world map.
Okay.
And I will zoom out so everybody who's watching us can actually see what I consider the world map. This is the world map, and she points at it. And we are actually somewhere over, and she points to right up in this area.
Okay.
And of course, you know, this is West Vedestia.
You call this place Zayatha?
Zayatha, yes, what they call this place. I suppose this planet, this realm, this world. I don't know where the initial terminology came from, but that's what we call the place. I'm sorry, it's so rude of me. I have not introduced myself to you. My name is Celera Faden. I'd shake your hand, but I'm afraid that it might be detrimental. But anyway,
As far as I can tell, that's probably not a great idea, but it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Augie.
Augie. Augie the gelatinous cube. All right.
What?
Yes, this is a very strange day. And she starts writing like on a little notebook that's next to her.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to browse and just.
Oh,
See
that's fine. The library is open to anyone that Sir Roderick brings here. It's mainly because not everybody here knows all that there is to learn. Because not everybody wants to be like Sir Roderick is he's what we call a ranger, a wilderness kind of guy, a hunter. I mean, there's different ways of calling it. But he
Like a
pretty much spends
bunny?
most of his time running through the woods, with his animals and hunting things. He's more natural as far as his magic is concerned. But not everybody wants to be that. So we've got.
Magic?
I'm sorry, what?
Magic?
Yes,
What?
yes, magic. Magic. And she brings up flames in her hand. Magic. And it goes out.
I'm dumbfounded. I'm just awestruck, so I don't know what that means. If I just go flat, I don't. Like, my mind is blown.
Augie, are you still there?
That magic?
Yes.
I have to be dreaming, right?
One of us
Like,
are.
this can't be real.
Yeah, I'm still trying to decide if I am passed out while reading a book, but I'm running with it. I've always told to,
Me too.
Anyway, the library is open to anyone who wants to learn.
I'll be
Yeah.
around as long as I'm. You say I may hurt stuff or damage stuff, so I don't know. Would you read to me?
Sure. Is there something particular you would like me to read?
The history of this place? Do you have, like. From where I'm from, there's a book called the Bible that tells of the beginning of time. Do you have anything like that here?
Well, we do have history books. I don't know what this Bible thing is you're talking about. I've never heard of that anywhere in the world, so it's kind of odd that that phrase would be used.
So
Okay.
you're well traveled?
Well, I mean, I've been around for about 150 years, so yeah, I've traveled a few places here and there. Granted, I try to stay away from the Orc continent because it's not really beneficial for anybody of elven blood. And of course, the Dead Crater, I try to stay out of it as well. But I've been to a few places.
That's
I've even
amazing.
traveled a
You
small
said-
stint with. Well, that's neither here nor there. I think there was that one time I did go to some place that wasn't of this world. That was definitely a weird trip. Anyway,
I feel like that's the trip I'm on right now.
yeah.
But I will let you get back to what you're doing, and I'll just try not to startle you. I'm just going to kind of browse and see what I can.
It just yeah, I will finish what I'm working on here. Later on, after dinner, if you'd like, I can hook up with you and I'll read some of the history for you. Like I said, I don't know what this Bible thing is you're talking about, but I can grab the books on the history of Ziathe or, some of the continents and what have you.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. And that would be Augie's. So next.
You said there was people training.
Yes, people training with swords, training with bows, a few of them that are training with no weapons at all.
That's the ones I go to.
The ones with no weapons?
Yep.
You even see a few that are using. I don't know what your background as far as your past is concerned, but you would call that magic. They're throwing fire at targets and stuff.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, so yeah, you walk up to the ones that are fighting hand to hand.
Oh yeah. I got winner.
All right. Let's see. Let's find out what you're dealing with. All right. So first and foremost, one of them looks like a rather large blue guy. I'm trying to find something. Well, winner, small fry. You sure you want winner? You're a little small.
And I start posing, like doing the wrestle moves. You know the. Come on! I will take you on.
Well, you definitely have spirit. I'll give you that much. And if the big blue guy doesn't give you a name, so we'll skip past that. And he is fighting with an orange fella. When I say orange, it means the guy's skin color looks like it's orange. So the best way to explain it.
Okay. Well, whoever wins, I'll actually ask what's your race. I ain't ever seen one of you.
You ask whoever wins?
Yep.
Okay. The big blue guy is the one who ends up winning. What do you mean, what am I? What race am I? What are you talking about? You don't know what a Gorund is?
Nope. I guess it's you blue person.
Yes, from the giant blood, well, Gorunds or Gorunds. And my friend here's a Soth. Do you not know what they are?
Never seen one before.
Well, anyway. Are you sure you still want to fight? I mean, you are only up to my knees.
So, I'll hit you in the nuts.
Nuts. I'm not carrying any nuts. What do you mean you'll hit me with nuts?
Your genitalia.
That would be considered a low blow. That's not sportsman.
Who said anything about sports? This is wrestling.
Wrestling. Don't know what wrestling is, but you know what? Let's go ahead and go at it. So yes, you start wrestling. You grab his leg and he just kind of chuckles at you. Waits a minute, shakes his leg, you fall off. At one point in time, you start crawling up his leg, and he's like, "Oh no, that ain't gonna work!" And he grabs you by the scruff and drops you on the ground.
And sooner or later, I get mad because I can't do anything to him.
Yeah.
And I go for the low blow.
Yeah, but you got to crawl up his leg to get there, and he's like, "No, I'm not letting you do that." And I already said he's going towards the genitals.
At one point, when I'll run around to the back of him, and I've seen my mom do this on occasion, and my claws come out, and on the hamstring.
All right, roll for an attack.
Okay.
Just a straight 20. All right. And I think, what's it, a D6 on your damage?
Mine is a D8 because I've got feral claws. If I don't have the feet yet, then it's just a D6.
Yeah, okay. You can roll the 6.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you catch him, and he kind of grunts with the pain of it. Oh, you're a lively one. So what class are you planning on taking?
Barbarian. That's the reason why I just keep coming at him.
So yeah, he takes you under his wing, and we'll continue with that in a minute. So we have let's see, who are we missing? We're missing
Robert, I think.
Well, Roberts was looking for
No,
musical instruments and ended up not finding any with a 3 roll. But he will find something else out.
Marcus.
Yes. I'll walk around a bit, see how rudimentary this village is. I assume by this time it's starting to get dark.
Well, it's still a little bit of time before it gets fully dark, but yes, the sun is going down. It's still got time before that bell rings.
I assume it's starting to be illuminated a little bit by fires.
Nope. It seems that at some point in time, a male orange fella, long purple hair, walks by with a stone in his hand, holds it up towards what looks like a torch, and it'll light up. And he walks to the next one, it lights up.
Okay. I will head over to the blacksmith and basically ask him a little bit about the infrastructure. Granted, I'll go into details about sewage and electricity and what's in Earth, trying to figure out. And he's probably looking at me like I'm dumbfounded.
Electricity. You mean like lightning? We don't have any lightning. I don't. That's the only electricity I know. I don't. What was this electricity you're referring to?
Well, it's what powers the lights in the city. And...
That would be the magic stones that my Sarth friend over there is using. He lights the torch. The torch lights the entire area. In some major cities, of course, they use what they call fairy lights or magical lights.
But magic isn't real.
Says the speaking machinery, yes. Magic is very real. And he seems a little off-put by it.
Huh. Look, do you mind if I grab some metal and do a little work over here? I can show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll grab some copper strips, aluminum strips, some wiring, some, make some kind of alligator clips, and I'll make basically a rudimentary battery cell.
Give me a D20.
Okay. And 14. Okay. 14.
Okay, I mean, it's kind of strange using these, what you would call archaic tools. But after a little while, you're able to create the weird looking clip. And you said battery cell?
Yeah, basically I'm making eventually end up being like a lamp with its own power source. Like a battery operated lamp.
And how are you making a battery cell?
Okay.
You need a potato.
Now, copper strip, aluminum strip, meshed in with, if I can get some vinegar, some dirt, some lemon as the core base, that'll cause enough electrical juice. Use the alligator clips to run some copper wires to a basically a thin graphite filament with cased into a glass jar of sorts with additional graphite filament in there, so it'll cause it.
Okay, well that's going to take you longer than the little bit of time you've got.
Oh yeah.
So you get about halfway through it, and you're like, I need to find vinegar, and of course the bell goes off.
Okay.
Robert.
Muted.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. You do have 2 hours that you're like floating around, and nobody is using an instrument that you can find. Like I said, the only musical sound you hear is the ringing of the bell a couple hours later. But you do see the typical magic being thrown. It's the targets, archers shooting targets, swords fight, bow staffs being used, hand-to-hand combat. The same things I described to everybody else. Is there anything in that time period, since you've not found anybody that plays musical instruments, that you'd like to do?
I would probably sit and listen to them talk about magic, but not get fully into their conversation yet.
All right.
But just finding more about it.
Yeah, and so at one point in time, one of the kids come over, and the one who's casting spells actually starts telling them how to do incantations and how to focus on the spell itself. You can either do it by focusing through an object, or you can read it and memorize the inflections and the signals, movements with your hands and stuff to cast other spells.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, of course, after about 2 hours, the dinner bell goes off. You guys are invited in. There's a halfway decent spread. You see Mason bring some food out with him. One of the things he's created for you. Actually, you know what? Why don't you give me a D20 roll, Mason?
Yep. There you go.
All right. So everybody else is kind of looking strangely at the things that Mason's bringing out, but he's taken some of the potatoes and he's cut them in strips. Everybody else is like strangely wondering what the heck this is, but you guys recognize this as hamburgers and French fries. Now, granted, the hamburger is not made with ground meat; it's more like diced up real small using what they have handy, and then made a patty out of. So when you bite into it, it's not like a typical burger, more like a chopped. How's the best way to put this?
Pulled pork.
No, not pulled pork.
Chopped brisket.
Probably more like a brisket.
Well, I'll pick up one and smash it into my face, because then I realize I don't have a mouth.
Right, and you also realize you're not even hungry either. You're like,
It looked good.
yeah, and for some odd reason you're able to smell it, but you can't. There ain't no mouth.
Russ picks one up and starts to eat it, but has a curious look on his face. This doesn't have a lot of taste to it.
Well, at least you could eat it.
And it's passable for those who actually have taste buds.
Yeah. I don't
Look
taste
at
a
it.
lot.
Yeah, watching you eat it, Russ, it's like, is it falling out the bottom immediately? Just
No.
like, it's like, and then asking,
Yeah, but
And,
no,
and,
it seems to stay down.
okay,
and
how
you see,
how was it?
Didn't taste like much. I don't know.
And you pass that off as, well, I don't have any Worcestershire sauce here to put in it. or whatever,
It's Worcestershire.
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 All right, go ahead,
onions
Scott.
and
I'm
You
I
got
see that, and then I see the meat, and I just go for the meat. Until they make me stop, I'm eating meat.
He can probably tell you better how.
All right,
Yeah.
so as you guys are sitting around the table, it seems like almost like a big family. Everybody's sitting there. It's a long table. Roderick sits at the head of it, and everybody else is, sitting on the benches that go down the sides of it. They pass the food back and forth, different things like, mashed potatoes, deep fried potatoes. They had some sort of cooking oil that they made from the fat of an animal that you had to use, but you do have, the burgers, fries, other vegetables such as, steamed corn, or steamed carrots, grilled corn, meat on a stick, And it's like I said, it's almost like a family sitting there eating, talking to each other, passing how they're doing in their training, and introducing themselves to you. Everybody now knows who Souza and Zed are. You also know who Cirilla is. The dwarf blacksmith at one point in time introduced himself as Thodak. Let's see. The two Sarth, they give you a name, so does the Grund. I haven't picked their names yet, so you have to bear with me.
Did everyone have a good day out and about?
Wandered around. They talk about magic.
I've heard of magic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much magic.
I'm sure there's some scientific reasoning behind it.
Looking
Hey,
around
I've
at
been
everyone.
from library.
Look around this room. Is there anything else in this room? Just tables, chairs?
Just tables and chairs. That's about it.
Okay.
The torches, were they like magical lights, or were they like that stone lit the torches on fire?
The stone lit the torches on fire.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it just lit the stone into a light.
Now, if you guys converse amongst yourselves, Augie would inform you that, Lady in the Library was able to light fire strictly into her hand. Whereas the rest, who anybody who's outside would have seen the orange fellow that you've realized now is considered a Sarth, lit it using a stone.
Yeah, there's magic in this world if y'all didn't know.
Sort of like a lighter?
I don't know what it
I
was.
don't know.
They used a stone in their hand and it shot fire. But, I already knew there was magic in this world, and I point up to the floating ghost. And the floating slime.
I was trying not to question it too much, but yeah.
But you know what? They've got a half giant guy that likes to wrestle, and so I'm happy.
Half
Is
giant.
that Smurf thing over there?
That's not a giant. That's a half giant.
He said something giant. I
And,
wouldn't.
and the guy he refers to as a giant or a half giant is, definitely, you're coming up to his knees at the moment still. The Haragon does. He's big.
Oh. Oh boy.
Yeah. So there must be giants. So there must be dragons. We're in a freaking fantasy world.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
And you do notice there is a tall blue guy, and then there's a shorter blue guy.
Not that guy. That guy. Point to the tall one.
Is it possible for all of us to cast magic, or just some of us to cast magic?
I don't give a hoot about casting no damn magic.
No idea.
Is it innate or trainable?
What?
Innate.
I'm just thinking that
Gotcha.
we have blue people and orange people.
I'm a fucking rat.
I mean, back home, we could barely deal with, a few colors.
True. True. I mean, yeah.
Also,
And now we have furries.
Yeah.
I am not a furry. Wrong kind of connotation there. I am fur. I've got fur on me. Yeah, never mind. I'm a
I
furry.
think you're stuck
Oh my
with
god,
it.
I'm a furry.
Yeah, I think you're stuck with it.
Hey, at least you're not calling me a putty cat.
The only request I have is for you to maybe brush yourself and you as well, because and then there's little hair still stuck everywhere. I'm like, y'all shed. Wait.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, it's been years. I've had to learn hygiene.
Well, the person that normally took care of me is no longer with us.
I need a shower.
I ain't licking you.
I can lick you.
I'm fine.
Come,
I
come,
appreciate the
come
offer.
here. Come.
No. No.
I start
Just
inching.
just kind of leans away in the seat.
Big brother, are you flirting with the rabbit?
No, I am trying to see if he's edible.
I mean, rabbits
No.
are edible.
No.
What's that,
It's a little
Molly?
more
Okay,
serious.
predator prey thing aside,
You all do notice that the Reverend seems to be missing.
Oh,
He
God,
does not
sorry,
happen
sorry.
to be here at dinner with you.
oh no.
He has a huge gambling problem.
He's probably trying to find new hookers.
Oh no.
We listen for the the sound of dice clacking somewhere.
Yeah, he's walking. Well, you don't know what he's doing. He's probably walking around the compound trying to figure out the best way to make a buck in this situation, or a gold coin, or whatever it is here. So,
Reverend, he doesn't seem very religious. I'm confused on that.
I mean, there's 2 moons, at least. That's weird.
also seems to be
The
a
map is in the library. There's a map of the world, and it is I don't see.
How different is it? Like, scale 1 to 10.
12.
Oh.
The world seems shattered. There's bits and pieces from what I've seen.
Like, Pangea scattered? Like, a little bit after? Like, it's... Or...
From what I've seen on the map, we're not in Kansas anymore.
another Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I think we're...
Russ curses in Russian.
And
But
you did
there's a
say
lovely lady that I met in the library that will read to me. We're going to meet up later to kind of talk about the history. I mentioned the Bible to her just to see if they had any history, and it kind of threw her for a loop. But I'm hoping maybe I can learn some history of the world.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some type of religious doctrine.
Hallelujah. As the Reverend would say, I'm sure.
Actually, at that point, Russ is going to, move over to something that says, "Excuse me, but what gods are worshipped here?"
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of different gods worshipped here. That's maybe you might
another time.
maybe
After
maybe you might
service.
want to just check the library.
I mean, do you have anyone
Solera
here that
Solera
do you have
is the
any
one.
priests or
No.
nuns here?
We not currently. We had somebody who was a cleric that was with us, but they've already moved on. Currently, we don't have any clerics or paladins or clergymen or women of any kind.
Just to make sure, because I'm not from around here. Move on. Did they die?
No,
or
no,
did
they went out
leave?
and they'd been here for a few years and got most of their training and survival tactics down and decided to go adventure.
And that's what people do around here. They adventure.
Oh well, yes. Oh, you find work as mercenary, or you can stay here in the compound and help train the new ones that show up. The master of the compound has plans and reasons, but for the most part, you're free to do whatever you wish to do once you've done the training, or you can leave on your own.
Gotcha. Well, thank you.
She decided to head out and do some adventuring, see some more of the world, like Cirilla used to do. She traveled a lot, and may eventually come back.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So Russ will come back. Augie, there appear to be a lot of gods.
Like,
As far as I can tell, yes.
And
I will see what I can find out.
they're training us to be adventurers.
Oh.
I mean,
The
Is that a
closest
cult?
thing I come to an adventure in my life was a pen and paper.
well, I mean, I was going to try out for American Ninja, but, things fell through. I mean, is that kind of like the same thing?
I would assume I couldn't tell you. Like this to me, there's some Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I couldn't tell you what's going on. I mean, obviously, she looks like an elf. I didn't want to presume that. I didn't want to ask her. I mean, I'm a freaking cube.
You make more sense right now than most everyone else around here. So, I have no problem with you being a cube.
I have a problem being a cube, but we're gonna figure this out.
And
Yes.
about the time dinner starts to kind of wind down, everybody's eating their fill, and conversations are back and forth with less eating in between. There's a bang on the table at the end of the table, and Roderick's holding a dagger, and he's hitting the hilt of the dagger on the table. Family, friends. Let's welcome our newest arrivals and treat them the same way you would each other. I don't think I've quite gotten their names yet. Have you gotten settled in just fine? You found you a good bed and kind of got familiar with the compound yet?
Yes. Thank you.
I found the kitchen.
Yes, I noticed the strange concoction you created there, and apparently your compatriots, I say compatriots, you weren't all together, but you seem to have some sort of shared something or another.
yeah.
Anyway.
It's a bit strange for us.
Weird situation for sure.
This is.
Well, everyone comes here with a different story, so your story is yours to tell or to keep is up to you. Like I said, everyone is... Please welcome them, treat them with the utmost care. As per usual, you treat them the way you would like for them to treat you. You are free to learn from any of our senior residents here. Apparently, you did not catch your name, the Tabaxi gentleman there.
My name is Austin Breaker. I'm here to learn how to wrestle. Yeah, baby.
Yes, you and Gronk should be great companions. You both seem to have that weird flair.
Who?
And this big blue hand comes over and slaps you on the back. He's talking about me.
Oh! I'm gonna scratch you again.
Yeah. I like this one. I will take him under my wing.
You ain't got no wings.
Like I said, I like this one. You're more than welcome to learn anything. Anything you wish to learn. If we don't have a instructor here to teach you, we have a library full of information for the area, as well as fighting techniques from different walks of life. I already been informed from Salura that one of you has been interested in the history of this place. I am rather shocked that some of you don't seem to have any memory or history of anything, but that's what we're here for. It's for you to learn, for survival and fighting, and for the most part, how to stand on your own two. And he stops for a second and looks over at Augie's feet.
Oh, also Russ.
Ah, yes, table's blocking the bottom half, and I forgot all about the fact that you don't have any legs, which I'm still dealing with. An undead that I don't have to fight. Anyway, we don't. We're all done here. We're more than welcome to sit around and talk. But, Karadin, would you mind very terribly, playing us something for a little bit? Some music to liven the mood and welcome our new friends to the family. And this gold-skinned young woman that you saw earlier with the flowers all around her gets up and she grabs what looks like a long, it's not quite a guitar, but it looks like a very long-looking, thin-necked guitar with like 4 strings on it. And she sits down and she starts playing it. And
What kind of instrument is it?
It's like a lute or a lyre.
Okay.
And but yeah, she starts playing it, and it's nice, soft, mellow tune. If you question anybody about, or at some point in time, you find out that she's what they call a Feyana Hadrin, which is a light side fey creature. And I don't have any pictures of her right now to show you, but if you look in your... we'll deal with that later. So, the rest of the evening goes pretty much uneventful. Other than that, some conversations. You get to learn a little bit about each of them. They learn about you, what little bit you want to share. I'm sure you guys converse with each other and, share whatever information you want to share about your characters. Past lives, current life, or whatever with each other, and you can determine that. At this point in time, you gain, through the next couple of years of being here in the compound, you learn whatever class skill you wish to learn, as well as your 1 feat. During your training, your skills improved to pretty much now you are first level of whatever class you guys chose. And I will say you have your first 5 points. You also... I'm going to give Kurt, you got 1 point in your cooking skill.
Oh.
And, what is that? Bobus?
Yes.
You have a point in your...
Blacksmithing?
Yes. And you are artificer, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It actually sounds like, instead of blacksmith, tinkering.
Well, which did you choose to go with?
Well, blacksmithing's what popped in my head at first, is making stuff.
Well,
as an artificer, but,
I am going to take blacksmithing.
okay, then I'll go to, like, a tinkerer, I guess, of sorts.
all right. Well, you can get 1 point towards tinkering, 1 point towards cooking. Let's see. That's Mason. Cook. We said, was this Bobus? Is that how you're pronouncing it?
Yes. Just call
And
me
you're
Bo.
Tinker.
Yeah.
All right. We have Austin. And you wanted to do blacksmithing, correct?
Yes.
Russ.
Russ is going to be doing woodworking.
All right. Augie.
Mine was initially inscription or scribe. I don't know how well that's going to work, so maybe historian or like history.
I mean, you could get you need just for mage hand, you know.
And what class you were picking? You were doing monk.
Yeah,
All right, and you said scribe. We'll stick with scribe.
we'll stick with it. That's fine. I'll pick up mage hand with him.
And then we got reverend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pimp. Yes.
Yeah, his is going to be alchemy, I'm sure, so you can make drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so let's go with Austin, Russ, and Augie. Give me a D20 roll, please. All right, wait on Austin's.
What did you say again? I'm sorry.
A D20.
D20.
Okay.
For a hot second, I was like, is that vodka?
All right, so you each get a point in whatever profession you were going to go because you did try something. Austin, first off, the blacksmith Thodak tried showing you how to make nails. It's simple. It's the easiest one to make. You just take a piece of metal, you heat it up, and you knock it into a wedge shape, and you make sure there's like a blunt end on one side, it's good and sharp on the other, and that way it can like go into the wood and hold the wood together. And he shows you, and then he leaves you to make, a few on your own to practice. And for some reason, they're all bent, crooked, gnarly. They look like
cat claws.
They look like concrete nails that were pulled out and twisted. For some odd reason, your initial attempt at it, you couldn't really do a very good job at it. But you tried. And that's all it takes. Russ. Yours was woodwork.
Yeah.
You... After... what was the musical instrument situation for? What were you looking for that for?
Because he's going to become a bard.
Okay.
And he played instruments when he was a human.
All right, well, she will be your bard instructor.
Okay. What was her name
Karaden.
again?
Karaden Geldenslav. Your blacksmith / tinker instructor is going to be Thodak. The barbarian. Thodak. Thowdack. The barbarian instructor is Gormsh. Gormsh. The scribe instructor is Celeria Phaedon. She's the half-elf.
Mm-hmm.
As of yet, you've not met your monk trainer, but there is a monk trainer on the premises. It's a Sarth male. He just hasn't introduced himself yet.
Okay.
So for anybody who wants to learn to be a monk, you learn from the Sarth. Artificer, you learn most of your stuff as far as an artificer is concerned from books and your own memory.
Okay.
But mainly, you learn whatever spells and stuff that artificers use in this world from books. You learn some of the tinkering stuff that is incorporated in this world from Thodak.
Yeah. Most of the spells I'll be utilizing are going to be electrical based, so what I was thinking was I use some kind of electrical discharge from the energy inside my...
I mean, there's medication for those weird discharges.
Yeah.
All right.
Only if it starts stinging.
I mean, it starts to burn. You might want to get that checked out.
Well, I have a battery core inside that I will discharge.
All right. Of course, the alchemy will have to be learned. And I can't remember what class he said he was going to be.
Well, we do.
But we'll discuss that with him later. He'll learn the alchemy from the bard as well. The bard is an alchemist. Russ, you're woodworker. That's what I was on the middle of doing. The little blue guy. You find out he is what they call a Mirun. And once I get down here, I will give you the spelling of it because I want to make sure I do it right. And I'm sure I already missed it. Yep, I have.
And what is his name?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Sorry. I got pages trying to load as I'm doing this. There it is. Alright, his name is Kovendal Solshanda.
Okay.
And he tells you that his family, they used to pirates at one point in time, and apparently were shipwrecked somewhere, and he got lost in the forest, and Shadrick found him. But he learned how to do all sorts of woodworking on the ship. He would help the shipwright with fixing things. And, of course, his pastime, the way you found out that he's a woodworker, is he was carving little figurines.
Okay.
And I said his name was Kovdan. Did I say it was Kovdan?
Kovdan.
Yeah. Solshanda. Trying to make sure I pronounce it the same way each time.
Kovendal, sorry.
Koven.
D-A-L is what I have.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Works.
Okay.
And, alright. So, we'll leave it there. You guys already have your first level character made. But,
Now, when we come back for our
you're-
session 1, we've been at this village for 2 years, you said?
3.
3?
Because,
you're going
go
So
ahead.
it'd be
to post the
like-
skill points, right?
Yeah, everybody should have 6 skill points right now. 5 from your level.
No, I meant you're going to post the rules.
Yeah. I mean, I will transcribe them over to where you guys can actually see them, yes.
Okay.
Granted, my character doesn't need it, but I was thinking in those 3 years, Robert, we could team up and actually build us a modern day home with indoor plumbing and electricity.
Can you build
Yeah.
me a metal suit?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Also, since you mentioned that, your roll. Sorry, I need to do this. Russ, your roll was average, so the guy shows you how to carve. A dog, and you can get somewhat of the shape. It looks like a dog with one big front leg and one big back leg, but you don't get any more detail than that on your first try.
Yeah. And it's during this that I'm probably starting to learn that my strength is not what it used to be.
Probably. Augie, you did pretty good. Because, your whole past life as an author, you're like, I like to write stuff down and take notes, but I just don't know how to do so.
Robert had the same like-mindedness as me. My feet is telekinetic, so I can have mage hands.
Is that what you decided to take? All right. So yeah, at some point in time,
Nice.
you realize that I can move lighter objects
Telepathic,
with my mind somehow, and in that process, you are able to write something. And you wrote. What are you writing? How about you tell me?
Over the three-year history, I'm writing the history of Xyothe as it's told to me.
Okay. And you're writing this in English, in the language of the groups you have. So everybody that sees this thinks you're writing in, some sort of code, but for you, it's natural to write in English
Nice.
because you've not grown up in any other race to learn any other languages.
Right.
The only language you know is English and
But I
somehow
can hear
common.
what I'm telling them, and then what I can hear back.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing with telepathy. It usually works off they hear your speech in whatever language they recognize. I think that's how it's described in one of the telepathy things. But we're going ahead and we'll leave it at that. You guys have you found your new home. You're getting somewhat acclimated to this strange new world. For those who are just now arriving in it, and for those who have not been really a part of it through the younger years of their life, welcome to Gooey Re-Incarnate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We will be back, of course, next Saturday to see what happens next with this group. Definitely an odd
And what chaos we
collection.
can-
Yes. Definitely a odd collection of characters. We have a rabbit man. We have a cat man. We have a robotic man. We have a half man.
Half of a man.
Half of a half man.
And then we
Yes,
have a dragon man or dragon
Lizard.
knight man, whatever. And then we have a Gooey Cube.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
So with the Gooey Cube, now that you have your class, wouldn't you give me a concentration check with that?
Alright. Constitution, yeah.
Little bit better, not too much better. But you have been practicing trying to make yourself look more humanoid.
Yes.
The only problem
We
is
ain't there yet.
you're still a little blocky. It's more like pseudopods coming out for your arms, pseudopods coming out for your legs, and a big block in the middle.
Nice.
So you've not
Now-
quite got the humanoid shape down, but you're closer.
Okay.
If we made an encased armor, metal.
He's going to be a monk, though.
Which means he can't
Right.
wear armor.
I can't wear armor.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. We're gonna figure it out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And, continue. Come back and check us out next week as we've figured out you can collect more points if you gain a streak in watching us. But yes, we will be back next week for this. We'll be back tomorrow night for the Legacy of the Kingman Stones. Monday
Are
night.
we?
Yes, tomorrow night is our...
Sunday.
Oh, I thought last time it said it'd be a month. Or am I confused?
He didn't correct me earlier when I said it, so I was assuming. But
Okay.
we'll see. Monday night we have our Mutants and Masterminds game. Hopefully everyone is able to make it and we can continue to see what happens with the Homeless Heroes. And then, of course, our Wednesday night game of Torganized Play. Be back here on Saturday. Remember, we're in this adventure called Life Together, ladies and gentlemen, so please keep that golden rule in mind. Treat those around you the way you'd like to be treated yourself. And with that, have a good week.
Bye bye.
It ain't easy. As Reverend would say.